when I talk to someone and kind of look at them like my equal, they may be just a few years ahead. But if they can do it, I can do it. Your time is important and your focus is important. Go out there, network, learn, get into different rooms. It ain't gonna come to you sitting at home.
For sure.
It ain't gonna come to you even watching YouTube. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another fire episode of the Winners Club podcast, where even when we don't win, we learn, and learning is a form of winning. My name is Brian Trent, your host. I got my number one co-host in the world, PJ Padua.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Hit him with your little speech.
All right, guys. Yo, guys, if you don't know, we are a business podcast, and ultimately, we share our success stories, share business tips that really could help you, and ultimately, our goal is just to make you guys a boss in business. So if you guys do us a favor, give us a like, give us a follow, share this with some friends if you think our show would bring them value. So let's get right into it. Brian, I know you have a story you want to share, right? I got
a story, man. I got a story because over the weekend, I got so inspired.
Love it.
You know, I go through these phases too. I'm human. Some days I get complacent. Some days I feel like I'm good. And some days I feel like I want to drive and kick ass and take names, right? So what inspired me? How did I get inspired is a story that I want to share with you guys because you guys can go out there and do what I did, right?
Let's hear it.
I always have get-togethers. I'm always trying to get into bigger rooms, and I'm always trying to be around people that are doing more than me in the field that I want to be in, right? And sometimes this was actually unexpected this weekend. I invited a couple of big names that are doing very well in business to my house. I cooked for them. I barbecued. I provided the drinks. Very minimal in terms of how much it actually cost. It was nothing. But we were able to have good conversations. We were able to dive a little bit deeper into their business. They asked me about my business. And we're, in some aspect, I'm in their industry as well. And to hear what they're able to accomplish, to hear what they are doing at that high level, made me think. Now, this is something that I'm like, dude, it's so simple. But you just need to see regular people. And I look at them, they're extraordinary people. But to me, you know, they're not like PhD, Harvard.
Yeah.
You know, they're regular.
Yeah.
Meaning like, they're like you and I.
Of course.
Okay? There's nothing that they possess that I don't possess.
For sure.
Is what I'm trying to say. Now, they're special, they're smart, they're hungry, they're driven. But it's not, like I said, going back to it, it's not like they have a PhD in business. It's not like they have a PhD in whatever it is, right? So to that extent, I'm like, yo, I can do it too. So I got super inspired, and I came back, and that's why on Monday, I mean, today's Tuesday as we're recording this, but on Monday I went crazy. I started calling people and putting things in place to really take one of my businesses to the next level.
Yeah.
Now, it's not that I didn't want to do this in the first place.
Yeah.
But it was, in my mind, for whatever reason, I thought it was going to be a lot more work than it actually is.
For sure. For sure.
And I was able, and through this little lunch and dinner, I was able to figure out that it's not complicated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And I'm going to be the first to tell you that sometimes I complicate things too.
Yeah.
I'm human. But I bring this story up because sometimes it's our limiting belief or the lack of knowledge, the lack of association that holds you back.
For sure, man.
And so if I didn't associate myself with these people this weekend, if I didn't ask the right question, dive deeper, create a setting that was allowed us to do so, I probably would have, you
wouldn't be right here.
I wouldn't have executed the things I did yesterday.
Yeah, even when I met you, you were making calls, like trying to make stuff happen. Some new calls that I really haven't heard before. So
yeah, just
like,
today, right? Yeah, right before this podcast.
Right before this podcast, man. So that's funny. Just like some barbecue, some drinks, and then you get to see, and now you're just in a completely different like mindset.
But it's you got to start. I'm lucky. I'm lucky in the sense that now I'm lucky, right? And I wasn't always. I had to build my reputation. Now I attract people that want to spend time with me, and I want to spend time with them.
Yeah.
But don't let that be the reason you're not hanging out with some killers, some people that are doing very, very well. there are ways that you can do it. For example, our last Friday, we had our second Flip to Riches event.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'm not anybody special, but at least we had 20 people come out and they had real one-on-one time with me.
For sure.
Right? Pick my brains. And I hoped that I provided a lot of value for them. I think I did because they did respond in my DMs with paragraphs thanking me and
That's awesome.
sharing their story. So I was really touched by that. But that's how you do it.
Yeah. I think even a great thing about, that event and specifically all events is because, yeah, of course they get to spend time with you or whoever like the main speaker is, but there's also 20 other unique people in different levels of their lives where, you could gain knowledge from, right? Yeah. I remember me and my girlfriend, we were there, obviously. Even her brother was there.
Yep.
And it's like a new environment for all of them, right? They're in like different spaces, but they've actually are super interested in that. So just to be able to talk to people, like they were pumped, my girlfriend was like, yeah, like give me some numbers, give me some numbers I want to call. So yeah, I definitely think it's like important. And if I would just want to advise, if anybody feels like they can't find, that specific room, there is a room for you. You just have to like look, because even if you're a fitness influencer, you're kind of like, oh, where's my room like that? Where's my networking event? Do you go to freaking the Olympia thingies, right? Where they like stand in the booths? You'll probably meet somebody that will accelerate your game or inspire you.
Yeah.
But what I want to talk about is like with your story, I know we're kind of like off jump, but your story is really just showing that if you see it and you can see that somebody else has experience, it really just, it should wake you up and be like, yo, we are no different. If you could do it, I could do it.
And that's the thing, right? Like when I talk to people, the problem is some people put them on like a pedestal.
Yeah.
I respect these people, but when I talk to someone, I kind of look at them like my equal.
Yeah.
But they may be just a few years ahead.
Uh-huh.
But if they can do it, I can do it. That's the mentality that I have with almost everything I do.
Yeah.
It's whether or not I should pursue it is the next thing you need to really think about, because your time is important and your focus is important.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point in my life, I like I said, the industry that they're in, I'm in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can easily, it's not like I'm starting something brand new.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, right? I think we're going to talk about the shiny object syndrome.
Yeah.
It's not like all of a sudden they're in the car industry and I want to get into the car industry.
Yeah.
That's different. They're also in real estate. I'm in real estate, but I see them doing it at a much higher level and not really doing much different other than hiring a couple key players. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm on the phone now.
Yeah.
Right? Inspire, invest, and to bring in these key players.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to, is seeing, believing, and then doing.
Yeah. I like that. Why do you think, have you ever been someone who like looks and puts like that pedestal?
Sometimes in the beginning, yeah, I'll be like, oh yeah, that guy's, have you ever caught yourself saying like, oh, that dude comes from rich family.
Yeah.
That dude is has a connection. That guy has XYZ, or that girl has XYZ.
Yeah.
That is your limiting belief.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially if you're in the industry, you're doing the same thing. Like, more than likely, it's not that. That's not the reason that they got there.
Yeah.
Dig deeper.
Yeah.
Dig a little deeper. Put in a little bit more work. You may have to put in a little bit more work.
Yeah.
But if they can do it, you can do it.
Yeah. No, I agree with that 100%. I mean, I still catch myself doing that, but not to the point where it's like, oh, they're born with it or something. I'm just like, oh, this person's like so good at this. Like, I don't think I could do that.
I think it's also important that you don't go too far ahead of where you're looking to go.
That's actually really good advice.
For example,
actually,
like, these guys are maybe a few steps ahead. They're not 30, 40 steps ahead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and so when they're 30, 40 steps ahead, it's very hard to see where the trails are.
That's actually really good advice, man.
Yeah, so you want to find like somebody who is maybe 2 to 3, maybe 4 steps ahead of you, where you can see what they did to get there.
No, for sure.
So, for example, like in real estate, our team did like $75 million in sales last year. Okay, not bad, not great. Right? I say not great because I now I know where I need it to be.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go look at the team that did $1 billion.
Yeah.
I will, but they're so far ahead
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of the things they're gonna I'm trying to mimic. I don't have the funds to do it
Yeah, yeah.
because obviously if you're selling $1 billion, you have a lot more revenue to work with,
Yeah.
right? A lot of it now comes down to spending the money, hiring the right people.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be hard for you to do that, replicate that, right?
For sure.
So what I'm gonna do is look for somebody that's doing maybe 150 and then 200 and then 300 million.
Yeah.
And then I can see at what stage they do what.
For sure.
So right now, like, I can't go out there and try to replicate the $1 billion team because they have offices, big overheads, a couple assistants, couple, like big staff.
Yeah.
Okay. But the $300 million team doesn't. They have maybe 2 people, like 2 staff that they hired. I can do that.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe a sales manager, etc. So think about that the next time you're trying to do what I'm saying in this video.
That actually makes a lot of sense, man. That's like, that's like you talking about the same situation, but you're looking at Manny Koshbin. You're like, oh, he does real estate, right?
Yeah, Manny Koshman's huge.
And
I'm going to go to his events too.
Of course, yeah, of course. But like,
But
I think it is good to look at stuff still like that, but to compare yourself that close, that's probably like the part that's
the
discouraging.
Goal. That's the dream.
Yeah.
Okay. In like, let's say my 5 years or 10-year goal is to get there in terms of commercial real estate.
Yeah.
But okay, let's close the gap a little bit. Who's the next person that is on the, like, maybe at a a little bit more closer to where I'm at.
That's actually.
But what you don't want is somebody who's at your level.
Because
Then you're not learning. You're
Definitely
going to be competing. You can bounce ideas. You can brainstorm. But they're not going to have anything that is like, dude,
that's not going to happen.
This is what got me to 300 million.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
I can do that.
For sure. At that point, you're just sharing stories. If you're like,
correct.
Everyone's making 100. It's like.
So, man, the key takeaway from this podcast, this episode is go out there, network, learn, get into different rooms. And I've said it again, and even today I was on a phone call. They were like, well, how are you getting these opportunities? Because I put myself in a place to have the opportunities.
Yeah.
It ain't going to come to you sitting at home.
For sure.
It ain't going to come to you even watching YouTube.
Yeah.
You got to, life is a relationship business. You got to be around people. We're social beings. We got to be there. So go out there, guys. Be with people. And, you sometimes not every meeting, not every dinner, not every networking event is going to give you what I just felt this weekend. But if you don't go, how would you know?
I like that, man. Yo, I want to wrap this up here, guys. Just a straight fire podcast, super short for you guys to bring some value and apply it to your life. So please, guys, give us a like, give us a comment, share this with some friends, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.